You would think that after the Hail Mary improbable loss to the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels for the Chicago football team, right after Caleb Williams led them down for a potential game-winning drive to put them ahead in what looked like a sure-to-win scenario, miraculous Hail Mary happens. You would think that maybe that would be the most miserable loss of the season for the Bears, and it's pretty rough. It still hurts. I'm not going to lie. I don't like seeing that play. But the Bears can always outdo themselves in one way or the other. And once again, for the second time in 4 games, we're talking about Caleb Williams doing everything he needs to do to lead the Bears to victory and them finding some way to fuck it up. And this time it's in the matchup that means more than any other matchup, the oldest rivalry in the NFL, and one that has been very one-sided over the past several decades. The Bears had a big lead in that overall series, but when you have Favre, when you have Aaron Rodgers, and now you have Jordan Love with the Packers, they just seemingly continue to win and win and win. And somehow, some way, despite all of this stuff that went on, all the chaos at Hallis Hall, finally, the management forces Matt Eberflus, this bitch, this fucking cocksucking bitch, because that's who Matt Eberflus is. He's a coward. He's not a leader. He's a bitch. He should have been fired weeks ago. They never should have kept him on. They should have hired Jim Harbaugh and they had a chance, but I'll get to that. Because this conservative bitch continues to find ways to lose games, you had a chance to win, and it all goes up in smoke. Packers block field goal to ruin Caleb Williams' heroics, and we might as well watch that. And I get it. I know that the Bears are going to submit this to the referees. I know that it should have been a penalty for the way they went over the center, for the way they were pushing up on him, or the long snapper. I know. It absolutely should have been a penalty. This is the way things roll sometime in the NFL. Sometimes refs miss calls. I preach about this all the time. And it fucking sucks, but it's the reality. But Cairo Santos, 46-yard field goal attempt, get into position with Caleb Williams driving down the field. And this is what happens.
And it's blocked! Oh!
And I knew as soon as you heard that second thunk, I didn't even see the ball, but I was watching on the TV and I heard the thunk, and I was like, fuck, they got a hand on it. I fucking knew they got a hand on it, and here it is again.
And it's blocked! Oh my goodness, the Packers block it, and they're gonna win!
And that's it. And of course, this is in the aftermath of the Bears changing their offensive coordinator. And as I said multiple times over and over again in the last several weeks, like the play calling makes no sense when you have the offensive line that the Bears had. You can't hold up for 3 seconds for someone to do a 5-step drop and for people to run 10, 15-yard out routes if you're going to do that all fucking game. And Shane Waldron and Matt Eberflus were saying, Caleb, just stay in the pocket. Just make the reads. Promise, we got you. So what happened? Sack after sack after sack. Finally, Thomas Brown comes in there. It's like, hey, why don't we work with what we got? Why don't we run some quick outs? Why don't we run some quick hitters? Let's get the ball out. If we can't block for 3 seconds, let's block for 2 and get the ball out. And if no one's open in that first or second read, use your legs, make a play. It's exactly what happened. Caleb Williams played excellent virtually the entire game. Even had some heroics at the end. I want to see if I can find this one. Here it is. 3rd and 19 after taking a sack. This is the next 3 plays for Caleb Williams.
4-man rush. Williams in trouble. Gets out of 1 sack. One for his life. Throw. Oh, it's a big catch. Not there.
Somehow escapes that sack. Fucking laser to Roma Dunze. Make it 4th and manageable, right? 4th and 3, 4th and 4. And then just a perfect back shoulder throw.
4th and 3. Game on the line. Williams lofted one for a Dunze.
You can hear Tom Brady in the booth screaming as these things are happening too. Tom Brady was digging it. And then just a really solid out route to Keenan Allen right here.
Blitz. Everybody's coming here. Williams throwing. Caught!
And you're right there at the 30-yard line with a lot of time left because this thing goes to review. So the clock was stopped for a little while. And instead of, I don't know, on first down, maybe run a play. If you don't get any yards, maybe go on second or even 3rd down because you got plenty of time, 48 fucking seconds left after this thing goes to review. Instead, they decided to run it. 1 play, they got about 1 yard, made it a 46-yard field goal. Matt Eberflus says no problem with that. All of the post game, I didn't have any problem with it. We weren't thinking about getting any more yards. We weren't thinking about moving it up at all. We were fine at 46 yards. And ultimately, shouldn't have been blocked. Packers did a great job, even if it was maybe potentially illegal. Did a great job. The problem was you should probably know your personnel. Cairo Santos, not the best leg. Super accurate when he's close, but not the best leg. I think his career long is like a 54-yard or something like that, right? And when you start backing it up, he starts to have little problems, especially with getting the ball a little bit lower. And the Packers had this scouted. The Packers knew this. The Packers were like, we're going to be shocked if we don't block a kick today because Cairo Santos has a very low trajectory, especially on longer field goals. Matt Eberflus says those yards didn't matter. We didn't have a second thought about trying to get maybe 5 yards closer to make it an easier field goal. Cairo Santos as a Bear, perfect, under 40 yards. Cairo Santos is a Bear, 76 from 45 plus. Know your fucking personnel. Know your fucking personnel. And you know what makes it even worse, Beardo, is you're just sitting here listening to me rant. Like, this bitch, Matt Eberflus, it's not even close. Active NFL head coaches in one-score games. Matt Eberflus, 5-17. Look at the rest of the NFL in terms of percentages. It's miserable. You know what really fucking sucks for me is that you had Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh was available, and they didn't even want to talk to him. Former Chicago Bear player who's turned around every culture that he goes to, would have been perfect man for the job. They didn't even fucking speak to him. And guess what kind of position the Chargers found themselves in last night? Literally on the same fucking yard line. Could have, ran a little play and maybe thought about, hey, let's see if we can just run the clock down and kick the field goal and we'll win the game. But instead, what do? They're not satisfied. They want more yards. Same fucking yard line, same situation.
Fullback in front of K. Dobbins runs left. Dobbins takes off. Dobbins goes down inside the 10. Dobbins.
Game's fucking over.
Yep.
Because Jim Harbaugh is not a bitch. And the one bright side of this entire game, for me, was clearly Caleb Williams. And as I've been preaching to anyone that will fucking listen to me, and if you're watching the games, it's crystal clear. The Bears don't have the personnel to call some of the plays that they were calling over the past couple weeks. Can you call those against the Jags, who are fucking awful? Sure. You can't call them against a halfway competent team because they didn't have the offensive lineman to block if you expect him to sit there in the pocket. And Thomas runs, hey, let's not do that. Caleb Williams has 70 yards rushing, some very clutch rushes as well. He fucking demanded, by the way. Caleb Williams demanded to stay on the fucking field when Matt Eberflus wanted to send the field goal unit out. This is Caleb Williams screaming when they tried to take them off the field on 4th and 2 in the third quarter.
Caleb Williams wants to. Look at this. Yeah, he likes it. There to go. He was yelling for the call.
Good.
He's screaming at the coach to fucking go for it. And he played great. I think he was like 24 for 31, very efficient. No touchdowns because every time they got close, they ran it in. But put them in the position to win. And for the second time in 4 weeks, we're sitting here talking about what should have probably been everyone would be talking on First Take about the Caleb Williams game-winning drive. And instead, we're talking about how the Bears find a way to fuck it up again. And this is the life of a Bears fan. Matt Eberflus refusing to say that maybe we could have thought. He said he wouldn't change a goddamn thing that they did. Not a single thing. Matt Eberflus is a fucking cocksucking bitch. He deserved to get fired last year. He should not have been the head coach this year. And he's deserved to be fired every week since basically the week after that Hail Mary. Because that was on him just as much as it was on everybody else. He said he wouldn't do anything different when he's the bitch that decided to play soft and give up 15 yards to make the Hail Mary even possible, and then only rush 2 or 3 guys and give Jaden Daniels all that time. Matt Eberflus, not a leader, not head coaching material. Get the fuck out of this league. This man is worse than a fucking terrorist. He's worse than Osama bin Laden. He's worse than Al-Qaeda. He's worse than ISIS to this Bears franchise. But Bears management, they're part of the fucking problem too because they refuse to get this piece of shit out of there.